What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JmarMATK, man. Back again at a video, a banger for y'all today, man. Today, we got the Fat Electrician Toilet Sink Submarine. Most expensive bowel movement ever. Oh, bowel movement ever. I said bowel. Bowel movement ever, man. But we're finna get into it, man, to see what he's talking about, man. He's a great storyteller to start off. And if you don't know the Fat Electrician, go check out his channel, though, bro. He got some interesting stories on there. Hey. But let's get into it, man, and see what he's talking about.
Today we're talking about that time in World War II when a German officer sank his own submarine by taking a dump. Yeah, this actually happened. But first, an ad. This video is brought to you by Warwood Tools, an American family-owned business based out of West Virginia that's been making sledgehammers and axes for over 165 years. I mean, look at this bad boy. It's a 10-pound sledgehammer made out of 1060 high-carbon steel that was forged using World War II-era drop hammers. So next time somebody tells you they don't make things like they used to,
bro, starting off, this dude, birth control is amazing. Like, he just going. Like, he just got energy. He going every video. He going, just talking. Like, bro, that's some skill. That's some skill. I talk a lot, you know, but that's a skill right there. That's I'm giving that nigga his props, cause that takes a lot to do that.
just know that Warwood actually does. Back to the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Type 7 German U-boat. U-boat just means underwater boat, aka it's a submarine, and the Germans just wanted to use a different name so that they could feel special. But with the Type 7 U-boat in particular, a special name just wasn't special enough. No. They also had to have a special type of toilet. You see, the Germans didn't want to use a septic tank on board for their bathrooms like literally every other submarine ever, you know, because septic tanks made sense and were convenient. I mean, they took up a lot of space and added weight. Apparently. So instead, they engineered their way out of common sense and proceeded to make a toilet that would flush directly into the ocean. Which honestly wasn't a terrible idea, except for the fact that you could only flush when the submarine was above water. Which, as I'm sure you can tell by the name Submarine, wasn't all that often. You see, when the submarine...
That's definitely what I was thinking. I was like, because the submarine, it normally be in water. That's the only way, like, it operates underwater. So there wouldn't even be a situation where it'll come up where you could do it like that. I mean... that's what I just always thought, like how you just said, I wouldn't think that you would be able to do that because it's already submerged in water. So it's like,
was underwater, it meant that the pressure outside of the sub was greater than the pressure in the sub, and you can't exactly flush a toilet into a higher pressure system because that's not how toilets work, because, you know, gravity and science and shit.
Yes, science!
If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that every time this submarine was underwater and one of the 50 crewmen had to take a piss or honk out a dirt snake, they had to do it into a bucket because the toilets didn't work.
dear God.
And then they just had to leave the bucket sitting out and hope they didn't spill, which is what the medical community refers to as fucking disgusting. Enter the turd tagonist of our story, ladies and gentlemen, U-boat 1206. It would depart for its first war patrol ever on April 6, 1945, under the command of 28-year-old...
April 6th? That's like 7, that's like 3 or 4 days before my birthday. My birthday, April 10th, y'all don't know. Shout out all the Aries gang. Shout out the Aries gang.
Adolf Schlitt. And Commander Schlitt's new vessel was equipped with the latest and greatest toilet technology. You see, the Germans had addressed the issue of not being able to flush underwater, and it absolutely was not by equipping a septic tank like everyone else. No, they had superior German engineering, and that's exactly what they used on their toilet, because they created a toilet that would flush into a pressure chamber that they would then pressurize to a pressure that was greater than the water pressure outside of the sub, and then they would open it and shoot the feces into the water. Like a poop torpedo. They literally made a turd torpedo.
Nice.
Which honestly infuriates me on so many different levels. Because A, they're roaming around the 7 seas blowing mud all over the ocean floor, and I can't even get a plastic straw 78 years later. Look, I'm not saying I don't care about the turtles. All I'm saying is we need to come up with a compromise where I can pretend to give a shit about ocean animals while also not having a mushy straw halfway through my drink. Secondly, and probably most importantly, this toilet was so complex and it was so vital that it be used 100% correctly 100% of the time that they had to train a new crew member, and his whole job was to flush this toilet. And his job title was, and I quote, the shit man. And that, kids, is probably the best example I can give you of why commas are important, because there is a significant difference between being the shit man and being the shit man. Because one of them means that you're probably a pretty cool guy, and the other one means that all your coworkers are gonna talk to you like this.
Shitter was full!
Ah, yeah.
You checked our shitters, honey?
Okay, first of all, having a toilet be so complex that it necessitates its own career path is the brightest shining example of German engineering I've ever seen in my entire life. And secondly, it's important to remember the whole reason they did this was to save space and weight by not having a septic tank. Now, they have a new member of the crew whose whole job is to flush the toilet. He's also gonna need somewhere to live, and he's gonna have to eat food. At best, they're maybe breaking even, and to top it all off, they're also launching butt burritos at innocent turtles. This is unacceptable. Okay, so U-Boat 1206 is on its first war patrol ever. 8 days into that war patrol, Commander Schlitt has to take a shit. You can't make this up. So the commander goes in the submarine, does what he has to do, and then when it comes time to summon the toilet guy whose whole job is to flush the toilet and nothing else, he decides, nah, if anybody's gonna launch this stink pickle at an innocent fish, it's gonna be me. Plus, I'm an officer. I'm smart. How complex could it be? Things promptly go catastrophically wrong and the entire compartment begins filling with his own feces and seawater.
Shit everywhere.
There's shit everywhere! Damn it! There's shit on the windows! Oh my god!
Which honestly wouldn't be the end of the world except for the fact that this compartment was also full of high-capacity batteries for the submarine, and when high-capacity batteries are exposed to salt water, they start to release hydrogen and chlorine gas. Hydrogen being extremely flammable and chlorine gas being toxic would force the crew to immediately surface the vessel, open up the hatch, and start venting the toxic fumes. And just when you think this day couldn't get any shittier, they were immediately spotted by the Royal Air Force, who began attacking them. The RAF would then critically damage U-Boat 1206, causing the entire crew to flee on life rafts, where they were captured and held prisoner till the end of the war about 3 weeks later. Commander Schlitt would actually survive and live to the age of 90 when he passed away in 2009, being probably the only guy to go to the bathroom and actually blow it up. So in conclusion, I truly believe that this may be the most expensive and consequential bowel movement in human history, and if it's not, I need you to let me know in the comments what actually is. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
That was the end of the video, man. I ain't gonna count though. I ain't even gonna count though. For what he was saying, from a standpoint what he was saying, with everything, like with the shit and stuff like that, that was definitely disgusting. I wouldn't have that even mindset if I was on a cruise ship back in the time. I'm just finna shit and just, like, I couldn't even imagine that. You just being somewhere and the shit just everywhere, and it's just, that's just a whole mess. But hey, at least the man got to live to 90 to 2009, I think he said when he died. At least he got to live and remember that time and look back over that time, you know what I'm saying, thinking, damn, I fucked up the whole mission. I fucked everything up just taking the shit, you know, when I could have just set up the toilet the right way, like everybody else, and that wouldn't have happened probably. But either way it go, man, it was a good video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man, share this video, man. Without further ado, man, your boy gonna see you later from this video. Also, before I get off here, also, man, recommend or comment down below, same thing, on some video ideas y'all want to see. It could be from the Fat Electrician or any other videos. I'll get on as soon as possible. But without further ado, man, I'm saying from this video. Your boy out, man. Peace.